All right. So we've been talking about promising you guys about weight loss all week, but we just don't hit the marks. Today, we're finally coming to terms with this. We're going to teach you about the myths, the facts, all of the misleading things about weight loss and resilience. Today, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, Marty, and producer Christina Flynn. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Just remember, if you have some kids in the room, you're going to want to put the headphones on today because we might drop a few F-bombs, a few bad bombs, a few ever this and that here this morning on the show. Hey, listen, we're talking debunking weight loss lies. We've been talking about it all week, but hey, do you really want to lose weight, or are you thinking that you want to be lean? Adam House is joining us here today at the bottom of the hour. We're talking resilience and business success. Of course, at the 50-minute mark of the accountability check-in, Marty's fitness tip at the 30-minute mark, Jon's lifestyle 45, 60-minute mark at the top of the next hour. Jon and Marty in the gym for you guys, answering all your questions, helping you guys get going. And hey, what do we do here in the lab? We build business athletes. So if you're an athlete, we help you build your business. If you're a business builder, we help you become an athlete. So, hey, listen, subscribe to the show, like the show, comment on the show. Welcome all your friends to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, C. Marty Fitz, and producer Christina Flynn. We're bringing on the gang here this morning. We got, let's see here. We got everybody up here today, guys. And listen, I got the old black shirt on, the old black glasses, the black hat, and the red logo. Johnny's got a new hat on today, the black Versace's black hat. Marty's got the old yellow, less brunches, more crunches, no sniffles today.
Bright today.
He's bright today. He's got the red headset on. And Christina Flynn's all in black as well with the old white AirPods sticking out of the ear. Christina with the K. Good morning, team. Good morning, team. Good morning, team.
What is going down, baby?
Good morning. Good morning.
I think Mick Jagger is took over as our head host here. Look at Marty. What do you think? Look at this.
I think Mick would be insulted by that. I'm just gonna say.
Is he bougie, Marty?
I don't think it's bougie today, man. I don't know what to call it today, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like the shades though, man. Even though I started the shades, but I like the shades.
Styling and profiling here in the lab with you boys. You know,
I like it.
Just like Ric Flair, you know, Johnny. Woo! Ric Flair, you know, the old nostalgia. Ric Flair.
All right, now don't take it too far, brother.
He's got that down pretty good. Look at the shoulders. Look at the shoulders.
Styling and profiling this morning here. Hey, you know, not everybody can wear the round glasses, Anderson. I think you probably could, though. You know, you got a nice big head, so I think the round glasses would work on your head.
Oh, man.
Dude, I have got a monster melon. My melon is like over, even as a youngster, I was like, I got this big old head, and whatever the hell's going on in there, it ain't spitting out any good information for me. What's going on here? Oversized and underdeveloped, man.
Speaking of monster melons, earlier this week, we got into a chat around Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp, and I woke up this morning to news that Shannon Sharp has been fired. Why, Marty?
Shit.
Why C. Marty Fit was Shannon Sharp fired this morning? C. Marty Fit.
Well, it's not official yet. The tweet that was put out was from a fake page. And if it was from NBA Central, that's a fake page.
Okay.
So it's not official.
Okay.
Or was it coming from Ocho?
No. So he accidentally went on Instagram Live, which if you've been on Instagram Live before, you don't just do that accidentally. You got to press like 3 or 4 things first.
You have to. You got to know how to do that. There's a few steps.
Yeah, accidentally recorded a video of his sexual, activity yesterday.
Who did?
Shannon Sharp, the same guy we talked about this week after he held his co-host accountable
on a live.
Yeah.
It was an accident
for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
4-minute act. What the hell was he doing?
So
John, he was going to work. He was mastering the domain.
He was mastering the domain. He was doing it by himself.
But Johnny,
No.
I don't see Shannon Sharp doing that by himself. He's gonna have a partner, man.
Sharp is our age, Johnny. So as Marty said, man, the video is 4.5 minutes. So he must have emptied the clip before the video started.
You know,
that's crazy,
gracious,
bro.
If you can't hold your clip together for 4 minutes, even with the clip full, you've been not practicing very much.
Yeah, even if it's about to be 4 minutes, you could bullshit it a little bit, man.
Jesus Christ.
Switch sides or something. You know,
if
talk
you
some
can't,
shit.
if you can't keep the clip full for 5 fucking minutes and you're in your 50s, man, you've been doing it wrong the whole time.
Come on, man. You got to improvise a little bit, man.
So let's bring business athlete nation up to speed here. So those of you that don't know, about 24 hours ago, a video was released less than yesterday evening, I guess it was, where there's a video was released on TMZ. You know, the point of truth on the planet TMZ. It actually is a truthful place. TMZ, if you want truth, you got to go there first. Back when I grew up and Johnny grew up, it was the National Enquirer. But now we grew up with TMZ.
I was going to say, are you really saying truth with TMZ? I was waiting for this. Holy shit.
But it's true, Johnny. It's absolutely true, right? So we grew up with the Enquirer. We grew up today with TMZ. And yesterday a video was released where, Sharp was having sex with somebody. And as Marty said, Christina, it was recorded on Instagram Live. And all you hear in the video, we're not going to play it this morning because there's actually nothing to see. I watched it for 4.5 minutes. And yesterday all it was, Marty.
I'm waiting with anticipation.
Yeah. All it was just this like rubbing covers.
Yeah, you could just hear the sounds. That was all it was.
Yeah, there's just sounds.
Yeah, it was just sound effects for 4.5 minutes, and then it ended. But here's what I found funny: if you're listening to it, like if you're watching the video and listening to it, you're watching the Instagram Live numbers going up, and then you hear his phone ringing. Because you can swear it's people phoning him saying, "Dude,
hey, what are you doing, man? Turn this shit off."
Yeah. So he went live on his YouTube show yesterday.
Yes.
And he and he said that he ended up picking up the phone and one of his boys like told him like, "Hey, turn your live off right now."
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, here's the thing,
said
that must have been a different phone because I was just on a live maybe last week and my daughter called and the phone doesn't make the ringing sound. It just flashes that it's happening and the live turns off the call. So that must have been a different phone if this story is true.
So listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. To Marty's point, I don't know how you start I don't think it was hacked. I think that's bullshit. There's no fuck. That's the oldest trick in the book. Oh yeah, my phone was hacked. So I'm going to suggest that it was accidentally hit and he was having sex and he got caught having sex on the air. And apparently ESPN's canning his ass today. Apparently.
So let's say he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
As 50-plus-year-olds, why do you think a 50-year-old would do that on purpose, guys?
Well, here's the thing. I think if he did that on purpose, at 50 years old, no, here's your answer, brother. At 50 years old, if that was on purpose, there would have been a little more to it than the sound of covers.
You would have tried to show what he's working with? Okay.
I mean, let's be honest. If you're going to do something like that, that risk versus reward is fucking sky high. You're going to get some reward for doing something like that.
Oh man. Yeah. Is that what it is?
What is the risk versus reward?
Yeah.
I think it's dumb as hell.
I don't know, man. The only thing
if you're going to do some dumb shit like that, you better make sure there's a possible reward.
Oh, man.
Only thing is, like, if maybe he's feeding into people talking trash online and he just wanted to show them that he's active out here, that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. So here's what I find ironic or coincidental. It happens to be in the same week that there's publicity around him and Ocho Cinco, and then 48 hours later. So Tina's a media person like I am. She's been around the business long enough. Mm-hmm. Tina, it's hard not to be curious and cynical where 24 hours later, 36, in a world of attention. Oh, coincidentally enough, 24 hours later, all of a sudden Shannon's back in the news having somebody thrown at him, right? So I don't know, just does that not make you be curious?
Shannon's in the news pretty frequently.
Yes.
It's not like he's doing big things. But to your point, this is the mainstream news versus where he typically lives with his audience. So if I'm his PR team and maybe he's got something coming up and he wants to get some mainstream publicity, he talks about this often on his show.
Yes.
He specifically targets not just sports guests but entertainment guests because he wants a broader reach for mainstream. Yes. It's very plausible. There have been way stranger things, but it's very plausible.
Hey, you're hanging out with Keith, John, C. Marty Fit, and producer Christina Flynn. The Morning Loop here. Mornings in the lab with Keith and John and C. Marty Fit and John. I'm just repeating myself. 8 o'clock Eastern time. What's up, Will Ray? The first 50 minutes of the show. You want to tune in to set the tone for the rest of the day. Tina threw something else in my lap this morning in the news here. Tina, I'm having some troubles opening up this link, so I'm going to throw back to you. But apparently some dude, Tina, some guy made a recording. John, Marty, you got to listen to this one, man. This guy made $10 million streaming music. Tina.
Not just streaming music. This guy made AI-generated music. He then streamed it on multiple platforms. We're talking about like tens of thousands of songs. He streamed them on multiple platforms. And then he had this unbelievable system where he had bots listening to the music. So
my Lord. So he got all that listens. Oh my God.
To get the listens using bots and generated from multiple streaming services, 10 million bucks.
Yeah, smart guy.
Smart guy.
No
he has been arrested, however.
I was going to say
brazen fraud.
Because that right there, that is so, the thing I always fall back to, ask myself when I'm getting close to the line of doing something wrong, am I following the spirit of what's supposed to be done here? And that is completely destroying the spirit of what's supposed to be done.
That's terrible. That's awful.
I don't think most people think about things like that, John. I got to be honest.
Christina, I love John's validation. Am I following the spirit of what's supposed to happen? That's John's guardrails, eh? Hey, family.
I mean, the argument from artists is like the spirit of the streaming platform is to give me 0.00002 cents on each play. So fuck these streaming platforms.
Yes, exactly.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy what you can justify if you don't have something inside you to keep yourself on that understanding of really what's going on. But I was a little guy. I could justify anything, man. Anything. And I was like, okay, this is, even as a little guy, I'm like, holy Toledo, I thought this was totally okay. And I'm getting a whooping for this. I better figure this shit out here.
Oh, man.
I've been there.
What's going on? What's going on, Will Wade? What's going on, Colonel Hogan, Colonel Klink? What's going on there? Raymond Dickerson, good to have you here in the lab. And good morning, good time. Always good to see you.
What's up, everyone?
In the lab.
What's happening?
And Mike Sullivan, if you're tuning in this morning, good to have you here as well this morning as well. You're in the morning loop, the first 15 minutes of the show where we get you guys out of bed and get you guys going. Get your ass out of bed. Do not hit the snooze button. Hey, something else that popped in my newsfeed this morning as well. Who's a Jon Bon Jovi fan on this show here? Anybody? Johnny?
I could say, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of songs that I like and I find myself singing them, but I can't say that I'm a huge fan. So when I find myself singing them, I'm like, dude, shut up. So listen, I'll give you something to think about. Yesterday, September 11th, Jon Bon Jovi saved somebody's life. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
He caught somebody who was looking at jumping off the bridge. Literally jumping off the bridge. He talked them down. Wow. So well done, Jon Bon Jovi.
That's great.
I've always been a fan of him as a person, his story.
Yes.
It's just his music came along at a time when there was like Motley Crue. So if you're trying to be tough, Bon Jovi was kind of skirting that line. You know what I mean?
Oh, so Johnny, you grew up with Crue like I did, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Christina, you know this stuff?
I've heard about. I think I read about it in encyclopedias or something.
when I play Motley Crue or Rat for my wife, she looks at me like I'm some weird weirdo. Good job, good time. Yes, just got done with my walk, week 2. Thanks to you guys. That is
let's go, baby. That's what it's all about, right there.
That's what it's all about.
Time. That example is why we do this show. And you know what? The fact that if you're laying in bed right now or sitting around, take a page of the Good Times books and get up and get your ass moving. Right, the morning loop is 15 minutes. If you start your walk at the 8 o'clock start of the show, 15 minutes later, laughing less, you're going to be done. If you go for 50 more minutes, at the bottom of there, you get 30 minutes in the bank. Habit stacks are ready to rock and roll, and you can move yourself forward. Good morning, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining us this morning. Morning's Live. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the show. If you're tuning into the show on any other channel, subscribe to Mornings in the Lab. Get us in the feed, like it, comment it, and so forth. Here we're dropping at the 14-minute mark. One more thing for you guys to drop with you. Marty, you got something there, pal?
No, I was good. I was just getting my mug.
Yeah,
I wanted to show you guys my mug. Yeah.
One more thing that dropped last night.
Look at that.
We're talking current. Let's see, Marty. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Talking current events here in the morning loop here. Kendrick Lamar dropped a new song last night too. So those of you that are Kendrick fans, just out of the blue, he's headlining Super Bowl coming up in January. He might be.
I was about to say, how you feel about that? About him doing the Super Bowl?
I love Kendrick. You know what, Marty? Here's what's gonna happen at Super Bowl. He's gonna quietly, discreetly. There's gonna be somebody under the stage. The stage is gonna explode. and Drake is going to pop out of the stage. That's my prediction.
I was hoping you say Lil Wayne, but yeah.
Oh, we know Lil Wayne's going to
be either, right?
Lil Wayne is absolutely going to show up in like that. That's going to be that. Lil Wayne does not show up in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. That's going to be the biggest diss in hip hop music.
Oh my God.
I agree.
So he's got to show up.
Already it was kind of a diss. Like that was.
Yeah, but I think there's strategy around that. I think there's strategy around that. Hey, good morning, Erwin Curtis. Thanks for joining us here on the show. If it doesn't count, it was Richie Sambora. Yeah, I was a Sambora fan. I certainly liked Sambora on in the Bon Jovi.
Lost me there. Yeah.
And
that's the guitarist for Bon Jovi. He was a cool cat too.
Yeah. Hey, Marty Flinner, hang out with me and Johnny, man, for a while. You guys will get up to speed on music, and we'll bring Lauren into the show.
This is the pitch to hang out with you here.
I think they need to hang with us, Christina.
Yeah,
they need to hang with us.
All right, we're coming to the 50-minute of the hour. Here's the part of the show. We do the accountability check-in. Good morning. The Tech Dad says, I want to see Master P on the show, and who cares?
Yes.
Says Lil Wayne is.
I could do a little Master P. Come on, Daddy.
Yeah, John.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
See that one right there. That's like what's that? He's evergreen. All generations know him.
Oh yeah. Yes. All right, guys, let's go this. Johnny, you gonna go for a break? Nation, look closely. When John gets up, he's discreet because he might not be wearing anything underneath.
I've never worn a pair of drawers once to this show. That's why I always wait till I'm off the stage before I stand up.
There you go. Good morning, Tangerine. You're joining us right now in the Morning Loop. We're going to get into the accountability check-in. We're going to come back and we're going to dig into part 1 of weight loss tactics. Y'all think you want to lose weight? Nah. Marty and John are going to tell you what you really want to do. You probably want to become lean. That's what I'm suspecting coming up in less than 2 minutes. Oops, not that one. That one. That one there. All right. Boom. That's it. Good morning, everybody. This is the accountability check-in. All right. How long do you think you're going to get away from it? How long do you think you will get away with it? That's the question. Most people, they hate breaking promises. Yet we do it ourselves without thinking twice. You know what I'm talking about. The commitments you make when it's just you in the mirror, you make the commitment. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. The one that seems so easy to push aside because, well, no one knew about those commitments anyways. You didn't tell anybody. You're just like, oh, I'm telling myself. It feels harmless until it catches up to you. It's true. Until one day you look around and realize, man, I am not where I wanted to be. Time's gone fast and time's gone past. Listen, if you're listening to this, imagine your life 3 months from now. It's coming. Oh yeah, those 3 months are just around the corner. They're just over there. Ask yourself, what if you kept those promises? What if you kept them? What would your life look like? Can you imagine 3 months from now when you have those promises made and you keep them? Success, I'm telling you right now, success is not the result of leaps, bounds, or grand gestures. Nope. It's built on consistent actions, or as Jon Andersen likes to say, habit stacking. The workouts you don't skip. The meetings you show up prepared for. The boundaries you set even when it is tough and even when you don't want to go to the gym. Remember, nation, the promises you make to yourself are just as important as the ones you make to the humans around you. So as you start your day and you get your ass out of bed and get going, make that promise to yourself before you make that promise to everyone else. It's accountability check-in dropping every single day around this time where we get you guys something to rock and roll and move the day forward. We got John, we got Jimmy, we got Tina, and we got C. Marty Fit coming in here. Good morning, David Sowers, brother. What's going on, man? Hey, David, I got your box here. I got your box, and I have it. My plan is to do an unboxing on the air. I just haven't got around to it yet, so you can be excited to know that's coming here. Love the energy of the host. Thanks. Who cares? I appreciate you, man. Listen, subscribe to the channel.
Is that box from Mr. Shitter?
It is from Mr. Shitter. Yeah.
I can't wait to meet Mr. Shitter.
You're gonna meet Mr. Shitter, and when you meet Mr. Shitter, the ultimate restroom company in the United States. Johnny, I told you this before, man. The cleanest shitters on the planet. I think we could probably do some good work with them, actually. David, we're gonna want to get Johnny outfitted with at least a case of purple shit paper because the guy's chopping them three at a time. I'm thinking so.
I have a bidet, man. I have a bidet.
Oh God, bougie John.
Sorry, Sowers. You're not getting nothing out of Andersen because Sowers is using water to wash his ass. He doesn't need toilet paper. So,
hey, when I use the purple toilet tissue, we watching the NFL game or something. I'm having people over. They're gonna see that toilet tissue. They're gonna be like, "What's that?" Then I'm gonna send them to David Sowers' way.
Boys, why focusing on weight loss may be misleading. I'm just tired of reading story after story after story. Hey, get in the gym, do these crunches and lose your six pack. Or, hey, do this and get a six-pack, or do that and do this. Up to 35% of people, John, Marty, who lose weight dieting alone regain more weight within a year. Many people confuse weight loss with fat loss. We're going to break this into a three-part topic today. We're going to talk about it now to the bottom of the hour. We're going to bring in Adam House and talk resilience for 15 minutes. We're going to come back and break into the second half of this, and at the end of the show, we're going to wrap it up. But I really want to lean into this today, guys, because there's too many human beings that think John, that think Marty. They're like, oh, yeah, I got to lose 10 pounds. Johnny, let's start.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what people don't understand. If you just want to lose 10 pounds or lose weight, that generally speaking, that means a person is going to choose to do excess exercise and eat less food. They're going to be a calorie deficit. Even if they don't do the exercise, the calorie deficit will still do the job. And when you're in a major calorie deficit, especially if it's substantial, your body's chewing up its own tissue. This is where the weight loss comes from. But you are losing muscle and fat. The body does not like to lose muscle because that's its functional tissue. That's what helps it survive. So first off, when you lose weight, your body's releasing all sorts of stress hormones. It has zero interest in this process. So the majority of people lose that weight, get to a certain point, then find themselves back to where they started because the body is basically saying, screw you. The first time you screw up, I'm going to put all this shit back on and I'm going to do it in like 3 days, no matter what you do. So make a mistake. Come on.
Yes.
And that's what happens. So when you lose weight, the body doesn't like it, and it fights you every step of the way. Now, you go the other side of the equation, and you actually lose body fat. The body doesn't have a problem, or has a less of a problem getting rid of body fat alone. Now, if you feed it enough to where it's actually gaining a little bit of muscle and losing the body fat, which is a feed the metabolism type scenario, then the body will slowly go through the process of losing body fat, and it doesn't have this thing of, okay, screw you. It becomes your teammate. So you make a mistake, and the body will kind of like, wait a minute, I'm getting fed. I get fed a lot. I kind of like this. I don't want to go back to the way I was. So it kind of squats. It kind of holds tight, just like a teammate would do if you made a mistake. So don't confuse the two. Losing weight is going to be a very unfulfilling process. You're probably going to end back where you started.
Yeah.
Losing body fat will be a completely different drill, and it will actually really change your life in terms of making a long-term solution.
Yeah, Tangerine's dropping in with an interesting topic. It is an interesting topic this morning. Real Deal Prime's dropping in with good morning, Real Deal Prime. Good to have you here this morning. Morning coffee with you. And Jack Duggan is loving this explanation by Coach Andersen. So interesting. And Real Deal Prime is, hey, for me, weight gain is harder than weight loss. Always been that way. Marty, looking at you, brother. Clients coming to you, and they're like, Chris, Marty, I need to lose weight. I want to lose all this. I want to lose my big back. And then, Marty, what's the first question you always say to them?
What are you eating? Literally, that's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just real quick to get on what Real Deal Prime says, a lot of people don't realize building muscle is actually harder than losing weight. I'm sure Johnny can agree with that.
Slower process for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, Johnny just told the whole story, so I gotta come from a different angle, right?
Yeah.
So let's say your goal is to get rid of your stomach, right? Hey, Coach Andersen, I want to get rid of my stomach, right? If you just focus on losing weight, the scale can drop, but your stomach can still stay there. You might have a smaller stomach, but you're still going to have, what you want to get rid of, right?
Yeah, so true, so true.
Exactly. But so what people don't realize is muscle that's the organ for your longevity. That's the most important thing in your life, right? That's what's going to help you get rid of that stomach, which is essentially losing fat. So, right, so if you want to get rid of that stomach and keep it away forever, you have to build muscle. There's no other way. It's been scientifically proven. So, and you're gonna look better, right? Especially my ladies. The way you want to look in that dress is not just weight loss. You want to get rid of some fat, because if you have, back rolls, or you don't like how your arms look, that is literally dropping fat. So, and that's not advertised. What's cool is, hey, drop this 30 pounds in 30 days. Our body isn't even supposed to do that. And then the last thing I'm going to hit on is, I'm not sure who's religious on here, but I'm a spiritual guy. I'm a Christian, but even in the Bible, if you do believe in that, it tells us to move our body. It tells us not to be gluttonous, right? Yes. So if it took you a long time to put that weight on, it's not going to be quick to get it off.
That's awesome, Chris. Movement creates momentum, right, Marty? So you get that movement going, you create that momentum, and next thing you know, you're shedding that weight and you're feeling good about yourself. Jon Andersen.
So losing weight, and usually people that need to lose, say, let's just call it 30 or more, right? That's like, just got to lose weight. All they see is that number on the scale. And here's the thing, especially if you got to lose, this type of a number, or if that's what you want to do, you're going to end up suffering to get there. You're going to look in the mirror and you're going to just be, you're still going to have this. You're still going to look like shit. You're just going to be a 30-pound less version, because your body's chewing up muscle and fat, which is basically diminishing your shape. You want your shape to stay. You just want the shape to be better. You want your waist to slim. You want your shoulders, or depending if you're a female, you want your butt to grow. You want certain areas to get bigger, certain areas to get smaller. That's the illusion we're looking for. We don't want just a 30-pound less version of the terrible thing we already are in the mirror. And that's what losing weight is going to do. So, but I do have one thing this is really, really doozy for people that are, okay. You have to understand this. When you actually do take the bull by the horns and you start realize, okay, I want to lose body fat. All right. Here's the thing you got to understand is that people, they'll start losing body fat. And when you're just losing body fat, you see it pretty quick. See it in your face, see it in your arms, your extremities show up first. Here's what you got to think of like this. The body gets rid of body fat, much like the sun evaporates rain. So hear me out. This will help you on your journey when you feel like you're stuck. You're not stuck. You just don't know it. So if your energy is good and you're still feeling good, the body's still metabolizing body fat. So it rains. Everything gets soaking wet. There's the street. There's the gutters and the mud puddles, which is a thicker, it's a collection of water. Well, the sun comes out, starts evaporating everything, and it evaporates everything at the same pace. So the street dries up real quick. But the mud puddle is still there, and you can't really see that the mud puddle's made any progress. You can see it in the street, which is your face, your arms. Your belly, that's your mud puddle. That's the thing that's hard to watch go away. So remember, just because you don't, the street is dry, but the mud puddle's still making progress, you just have a hard time seeing it because it's a collection of water, kind of like the collection of fat on your belly. So if you are subscribing to feed the metabolism, energy's up, you're feeling good, but you think you're not losing body fat anymore, remember, the body evaporates fat like the sun evaporates rain.
Yes. Great explanation. You're hanging out with Keith, Jon, and Marty. Mornings in the Lab, 8 o'clock Eastern time, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass out of bed. We stream on X, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Hey, we're like a radio show on today's social media platforms. We're here talking today about weight loss lies. And my lovely, I love Lauren, my wife. She puts a comment in the feed, which I think is something that we just don't talk enough about. And Marty, you know this well as I do. Lauren says, I haven't trained abs in approximately 20 years and have a six pack. She does. I'm tired of seeing all of these headlines, Marty and Jon. Hey, go do this. Go do these sit-ups to get abs. Nope. Yeah, exactly. Johnny, Marty, looking to you, pal. Take 30 seconds, take a minute before we get into the See Marty Fit tip and debunk this whole idea that every headline you read today to start your day, go do a burpee, go do a sit-up, go build your abs. Oh, yeah, you want to shed the muscle off your abs? Show them. No, Marty, where do you build abs? No.
Well, you build abs in the kitchen, but, a couple things I'm going to point out, and this includes myself too, all right? If you can't see your six pack, then that's you have fat on your stomach, and this includes me too. If I can't see my six pack, it's the truth, right?
100%.
The way you get rid of that, right? You have to increase your metabolism, right? So you go burn calories at the gym. Hey, my Apple Watch said I burned 500 today, right? That's amazing. But if you're not burning when you leave, right? If you don't have muscle, that's not going to help you get the six pack. So that's where the six pack comes from: burning calories at rest and building muscle mass, so you can burn more calories throughout the day, every day.
And real quick, just to add that something a little to this, a little comic relief, but it's the absolute truth. People say, "Oh, I don't have abs," right? Yes, you do have abs.
Yeah, okay.
They're just hidden under about 2 inches of fat. Everybody has abs. The question is, can you see them?
Or as Laic Wolf says, we got six cake. Yes, that's exactly it. It's we got a six cake instead of a six pack. Exactly.
I got some jokes for that, but I'm going to keep it.
I'd say Marty was like, he was setting himself up like I was going to drop some sort of a bomb. What were you thinking I was going to say, brother?
I didn't know what you were going to say, but I was ready for it. I didn't because you said comic relief, so I'm like, oh God,
oh God.
Well, but in this one, I want to just people understand you got them. You're just a little too undisciplined to see them.
Yeah, that's it. That's producer Christina. We know when we tip this topic, people lean into it because it affects every human being on the planet. I want to lose weight. No, you don't. I want to lose weight. No, you don't. I want to lose weight. No, you don't. Coming up, the C Marty Fit Tip. Ready to rock and roll, Marty?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's do it.
All right, we got the fitness tip for today. Hey, look, this one's going to be better than yesterday. I got my voice back about 70-80%. So this going to be better than yesterday, all right? So there are 4 important types of exercise for optimal fitness, okay? We got endurance, we got strength, we got balance, and we got flexibility. These categories don't just target muscles, they train your entire system for longevity, mobility, and strength. So whether you are an endurance athlete, whether you're a bodybuilder, power lifter, these are all important, right? Everybody needs this, no matter how you train or what you train for, right? So let's talk about endurance. This is going to improve your heart and lung efficiency, something everybody can benefit from. Studies show that your regular cardio reduces the risk of heart disease by 40% and lowers blood pressure by up to 7%, okay? These are things, the heart disease is actually the #1 killer in our country right now. So it's very important that you're getting some cardio in on the regular. Not saying you got to kill yourself. You kill yourself if you want to, but do something. We got strength training. This is crucial for muscle health and maintaining your bone density, right? Slow age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, and boost metabolism, okay? So a lot of older people, right, they get injuries from weak bones, especially in the hips, right? So it's important to strength train now while it's easier, while your body's going to, it might be hard, but it's easier now than it's going to be to start at 50. You're starting at Jon Andersen and Keith age, good luck to you.
Nope.
It's doable, but it's going to be much harder than if you start at 20 or 30, okay? Balanced exercise helps prevent falls, especially as you age. A 2019 study indicated that regular balance training reduces falls, which I just mentioned, by up to 30%. And then lastly, flexibility increases your range of motion, helping with pain relief and muscle recovery. If you got time, stretch after every workout, even if it's only 10 minutes. Do something, okay? Those muscles get tight, whether you're running, whether you're lifting, whatever you're doing. HIIT class, right? Because we know y'all love HIIT a little bit too much, but make sure you're stretching. Stretching can improve flexibility by up to 20%. So by including all 4 of these, you will create a well-rounded fitness routine that keeps your body functional and strong for the long haul. That's the fitness tip for today.
All right, there's the fit tip of the day. We drop it every single day around this time of the show. Marty's giving you something to get your gas going in the morning here. Let's get Jon Andersen on the stage here. And oh, listen to this, and Marty, you hear that?
Oh God.
It sounds like somebody's walking towards the stage. Johnny, can you hear that sound? Listen.
It sounds like they're walking in the snow.
Yeah, I think that might be Adam House walking through the snow of Michigan all the way to the stage of Mornings in the Lab.
Adam, what's up, brother?
Hey,
up,
I've
Adam?
got a little echo for some reason. I'm hearing you twice, but I don't know if that's me or you guys.
I'm not sure. I don't hear you on my side twice there, so it might be on your side there. I'm thinking
You might have to mute one of the tabs.
Yeah, we're okay over here. So we got Adam House joining us here, the CEO of House of Bricks, joining us all the way from Michigan. We walked him in with the old walking through the sand sounds of North, whatever the hell I'm trying to say.
You can't shoot bricks when you introduce Adam House, man.
That was good, Marty.
Man,
that was good.
We're here to break down resilience myths with Adam here this morning. Resilience is holding you back. 50%, guys, of entrepreneurs report struggling with mental fatigue and burnout despite being told, Adam, to just be more resilient. Today, we're going to lean into the brick of the week, but why resilience alone isn't enough. But before we do that, Adam, how's the week been, brother? You were down with David Meltzer yesterday or this week doing some stuff in California. How's the week been, Adam?
Week's been amazing. I can tell you it was a grind. So Friday, I had to drive to Nashville for my son's hockey tournament. So 11 hours there, hockey all weekend, 11 hours back. Flew out that morning to California. Took the red eye back Tuesday night. So went on 30 hours no sleep. So we're going to talk about resilience and what it takes to be an entrepreneur. But I got some sleep last night, so I'm charged and ready to have a good time with you guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Adam, what's the most common misconception you've seen around resilience? Do people rely too much on it without addressing other crucial factors? Like is it like the word where it's just like, oh, yeah, I got to be resilient, but yet we don't really know what it means and we don't know how to do anything about it? Let's talk about that for a few minutes, Adam.
Yeah, and first of all, I think your statistics, you said 50% of entrepreneurs struggle. I can tell you the other 49% are lying.
Yes.
They're lying, right?
Yes.
Or they just won't admit it. And if you're not struggling, and we've talked about this before, just because you're struggling, right? If I was trying to get to California but was running towards Florida, no matter how much I'm struggling, I'm not going to get to my destination. And I talked about this at the mastermind. We've talked about this as well last week with trust the process. Well, I actually came to even a further conclusion on that process. And the number one key to the right process or getting the most out of it is actually you. You can take a bad leader or bad progress and still turn it into a competitive advantage. I'm a faith-based guy, so I have unshakable faith in God, which creates unshakable faith in myself. So even if I am in a bad situation, so that's how you don't become a skeptic, like, oh yeah, my leader's, this, and I'm in the wrong process. It really starts with you. And you talked about resilience, and that is the cornerstone of a strong foundation. And it's nothing that you can ever arrive at. You cannot say, I'm now resilient, I've achieved it. The only place you arrive in life is in the cemetery, right? So that's when life's over. That's where you arrive. So everything you're trying to do, everything you're trying to develop and grow, it's a flywheel that you have to spin every day.
Hey, Marty, how do you think we help people reframe resilience as one tool in the toolbox rather than the only tool? I think too often we just drop to, I'm going to be resilient, but yet we need to teach our humans, our colleagues, our friends, our family that resilience is just one more tool in the toolbox. Marty, when somebody comes to you and talks about that, what kind of comments do you offer back to them?
Well, yesterday or 2 days ago, we talked about resiliency, and I basically said that it's learned. It's not something that you could just teach someone. You got to learn it through your experience. And so through that experience, more than likely, you have other skills. You have other skill sets. So you might have confidence. That might be, your strength. You might have a way with words, right? You might be energetic. You might be, it can be anything. So I feel like realizing that you have other tools in the box along with resilience is a great way to look at it instead of just focusing on being resilient, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Adam said?
No, it is but certain tools are more important than others. And that's why I call this the cornerstone of your foundation. Right. And so once you have a mindset of wanting to be resilient, you're going to ask yourself, well, how do I do it? And I know you guys like to talk about the gym and right nutrition. You can't go to the gym for 12 hours and then not go back for 3 weeks. You're not going to get any results, right? So You build
No, heck no.
confidence in becoming resilient by making small commitments every day that are non-negotiables, and you control those, and that's what develops resiliency.
Adam, we're getting some pretty crazy echoes coming from your stream there. Would you mind maybe just doing a quick little mute there? We got some feedback coming back from some folks here, and it's just been since you've entered into the feed here. So if you could just maybe check that, that'd be awesome. Hey, Johnny, while Adam's doing that, I'm going to look to you for a second here, Johnny.
And Adam, see if you can get some headphones too.
I think that's what it is. I think it's because it's the echo in the room.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So, Johnny, let's talk about being a superhuman, because, you know, we like to build superheroes here in the lab and so forth. But, John, how do you debunk the myth of the superhuman entrepreneur? What should leaders know about balancing resilience with mental health well-being? Johnny, because it's about resilience, talking about emotions and talk about feeling. Let's talk about being that superhuman, Johnny. And is it mental health problems, or is it being superhuman? What's your comments on that, Johnny?
Well, I think it all kind of, you know me, I like to break things down to a simple format. I think first thing that an entrepreneur has to understand is that they've stepped into a life of being uncomfortable. And if you're comfortable as an entrepreneur, you're doing something wrong, because you need to keep yourself uncomfortable. So you're always striving forward. Now, to add what Adam was saying, you got to make sure you're moving that direction. Of course, that's all. But when you realize, okay, I have made the choice to live in a world where I'm uncomfortable every day, and accept that, it makes it a lot easier to lean into it. It's when you're always wondering, well, oh my God, I'm there. I feel this, I feel that. Well, no shit. If you go outside and it's pouring rain and you get wet, are you going to get bent out of shape about it? No. Well, if you make the choice to be an entrepreneur, you're going to be uncomfortable. There's a lot of things that go on that you're going to have to deal with, and anxiety, stress, people, you name it. So that being said, you better do your shit to make sure you can handle this every day. Make sure that you're on top of your nutrition. Make sure that you're on top of your exercise. Make sure that you're getting your adequate rest, even if Adam had to go 30 hours without sleep. Well, as soon as he got the opportunity, he realized that was something he needed to do to get back on his track, to be himself, to be that high-powered version of himself. So I guess when it comes down to it, it starts off with accepting what you've stepped into and recognizing, here's the roles and responsibilities I need to handle on a daily basis. Just like Adam said, the little things every day is what will give you the ability to be that superhuman guy, so to speak. It's all about the little things every day. Again, Adam said non-negotiable. All of the things you need to do need to be non-negotiable to be that guy that can handle the shit you deal with as an entrepreneur.
We're talking resilience with Keith, John, C. Marty Fit, and our guest, Adam House, the CEO of House of Bricks. We're talking about resilience and what tools you need to get through, the tough times in life, tough times through business and so forth. Adam, when we, as a leader, is there a right way or a wrong way to set the example of showing resilience, not only for your colleagues, Adam, but for our kids? I know you're a hockey dad like I am to our boys. How do we demonstrate resilience to both our colleagues and our boys? Adam House. Oh, you're muted, pal.
I think
there we go. Is that better?
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Good now, bro.
All right, we're ready to roll. So I'm doing everything right now. I'm being resilient. I'm the entrepreneur. I don't have my studio guy. So
you're doing awesome. You're flying. Let's keep going, brother.
Yeah. So can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So Adam, how do we set examples for both our colleagues and our kids about resilience, right? Because Marty says you have to go through it to become resilient. Yeah, you got a dad to some awesome kids. I'm a dad to some kids. So is Johnny. Marty's on his way. You got colleagues you're working with, every single day, Adam, that might not have gone through difficult times. How do we teach them, empower them, encourage them to embrace those difficult moments where resilience is going to get them through it? How do we teach resilience, Adam?
I'm going to hit you with some truth bombs here. So, every entrepreneur, what do they want to do? They want to exit their business for millions of dollars, right? Yes. And I've had those exits, and I realized, am I really being a great example for my kids being around all the time, right? So now you've got all this free time. Oh, let's take the kids to the park. Let's go to Starbucks, And I'm like, what am I really teaching them? And so what I want to tell everybody out there that has kids If you stop pursuing your dreams, how can you ask your kids to pursue theirs? You have to continue climbing every single day. And it's not about the money or the trophy or the outcome, but I try to lead myself in a way that is always climbing. And
Adam,
then they're going to.
You got to unmute the V stream. I'm sorry. The vertical stream, you got to unmute that. They can't hear you on there. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh my God.
You're good now. You good.
I think you got it, Adam. I think
you're good now. You're good now.
Am I good?
Now.
Am I good?
Yeah,
okay.
you're good now.
All right. Thank you. We're rolling.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good, dude. I appreciate it. So you have to lead yourself in a way that's pursuing whatever it is in the ways that you're expecting them to do it. So my kids are athletes. What do? I get up and go to the gym in the morning. I want them to pursue their dreams. What am I doing every day? Getting online, impacting people, coaching a community. So the best form of leadership is always self-leadership, and people will want to follow.
Man, I don't know how many days back it was. We just had a talk about how, kids are smarter than you think. They're going to get to that age where they're going to look at their parents and go, well, Daddy, you're telling me to, pursue my dreams. Why aren't you doing it? And what you just said is so powerful, because I believe that if a parent, especially as a dad, if you don't have the balls to chase down your dreams and you're telling your kids, that's a form of child abuse, because you're setting that kid up to do the dumb shit you're doing. And let's be honest, that's unfortunately happens way too much.
Yes. Real Deal's coming in with lead by doing, be the example. That's exactly it. We need to show by example instead of show by saying. And hey, resilience is what we go through to learn it. But hey, come on, it's the 46-minute mark of the show. We're going to take a quick 90-second pause. Myself, Marty, and Adam are going to step off stage, and Andersen is going to give you guys something to think about to help you get through your day with what we like to call the Jon Andersen lifestyle tip, which sounds exactly like this.
All right. So we always try to bring very simple yet actionable tips to you guys. And this one is going to basically, it's just kind of connected to our talk about getting rid of body fat. When we sleep, if we're sleeping well, we metabolize a lot of body fat. And I know sleep is a huge problem for most people. So this is what you're going to do to try to improve your sleep, which will improve your body's ability to metabolize body fat. So first thing you got to realize is that a set bedtime is going to help your body develop a circadian rhythm. Now, when I say set bedtime, it doesn't have to be overly rigid, but if you're going to bed at, say, 9 o'clock one night and 2 in the morning the next, that's too big of a span. If you can get that narrowed down to an hour, that's going to make a huge, huge difference. Now, most people climb in bed, even if they get the set bedtime set, they get in bed and they say, I can't turn my brain off. They're thinking about the anxiety and the stressful shit that happened all day and what's going to happen tomorrow. So here's the doozy of the tip. Your brain doesn't have the ability to be stressed out and grateful at the same time. So what you're going to do, you're laying there, you're on your bedtime, in bed, on your bedtime. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have some thoughts of gratitude. Think about some elements of your life you're grateful for, because as soon as that happens, your brain stops creating the stress hormones, which keeps you awake, and starts creating the feel-good hormones like serotonin, which is a huge help in falling asleep. So number one, set bedtime. Number two, climb in bed. And if that brain is moving the wrong direction, shut it down, turn it around by having thoughts of gratitude, and you will find yourself sleeping much, much better. Rock and roll.
Ooh, the Jon Andersen lifestyle tip, something to get you guys thinking about, to get your day rocking and rolling and moving forward. Keith, Jon Andersen, C. Marty Fit, and our guest, Adam House. We're talking resilience, debunking weight loss lies. We're gonna step into the second half of our conversation around debunking weight loss lies, and we're gonna tie some resilience into it to keep this conversation rocking and rolling. But boys, so we've been talking. We started the conversation around debunking weight loss lies. Right? Everyone wants to lose weight, and now we're talking about resilience. Let's talk about tying the two together. So, Johnny, you subscribe to a theory which is all about, you know what? If you eat more, you'll lose weight. Don't need to be resilient, crushing all of those minutes in the cardio machine. You don't need to build resilience by going to the gym for 10 hours at a time. You don't need to build resilience by doing all these crazy extra things. Let's weave resilience into the conversation around how we manage weight loss, how we manage physical activity, and how we become fit by using the power of resilience. Jon Andersen.
Well, no matter which side of this equation you choose to go, you want to starve yourself and go a calorie deficit, you're going to have to be resilient because you're hungry, you're cranky, and you're tired all the time. You go to the other side of the fence, which is to feed the metabolism. Yes, you're going to be eating much more, but you're going to have to be resilient with the fact that you're going to be eating much more often. You're going to have to be resilient with the fact that you're going to have to prepare to have food around all the time. So you can't escape resilience. The question is, what are you going to be resilient to? Do you want to suffer through being hungry, or do you want to basically be resilient to the fact that you got to stay on top of your meal prep and your hydration? So there's no way to escape it. But the key is, if you just take these little cracks every day, that's the ticket. Don't think about these huge steps. We need little steps every day. When you don't miss, that's the resilience you need to get what you want.
Hey, Adam, I wasn't going to spend much time here with you on the resilience weight loss things, but as I was thinking about it this morning and just going through my own activities, you know, where I got a couple years on you age-wise. But Adam, as a young athlete, as somebody who's, you know, who I know you believe that athletics built your business and your business has weaved yourself back to athletics. So I know you live that business athlete mindset. Adam, how have you managed weight loss and being physically active and using resilience to battle and to help yourself through your personal journey? Could you talk with that a little bit, Adam, for our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. And before I'd say what I'm going to say, what Jon said was probably the best comment anyone's going to make today, which is preparation, right? He said, prepare for what you're going to eat, prepare to make the meal. So it starts with, what are you going to do? And then you're not in reaction mode, right? Because if you're working all day as an entrepreneur, it's like, oh, shoot, you know, what am I going to eat? Oh, here's a candy bar. I haven't had water and it's 2:00. So it's really about preparation, setting yourself up to be resilient. So I always plan my week on Sundays. That's a non-negotiable for me. 5 p.m. I'm looking at everything I'm going to do. I'm canceling meetings I don't have to have. So if you're on my calendar on Sunday, it doesn't guarantee you'll be there on Wednesday if we have a call book. So it's prioritizing my time, because that's my most valuable asset that I can never get back, is my time. So I control my time and I enter into it prepared. And that's really what creates resilience. But on the health piece, if I didn't go to the gym, I'd probably kill myself. Like, that is my space to put my headphones on, get some work.
Prozac. It's our Prozac, baby, you know?
For sure. And you just feel good. You're around other like-minded people, and I don't have to talk to anybody. I'm talking to people all the time. My heaven is a closet with no one else in it. Like, that's what I love, being alone. During COVID, when my 4 kids were home, I'm not joking. I listened to this book called Living with a SEAL, which is David Goggins moves in with this entrepreneur. If you have not listened to that book, it will change your life. But I just decided to walk 26 miles in a day. So I hadn't been training for a marathon, anything like that. So I just hit the road, listened to that book. I walked for 26 miles. And, the point is, like, you have to find the space for yourself and know that it's going to make you better in every area of your life.
To Adam's family, it was the longest book ever. Oh, Dad, you still listening to the book? Oh yeah. I'm only on chapter 1.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to walk 26 miles, brother?
I want to say 9 or 10 hours, maybe a little longer, but it was awesome. And people are like, oh, you must have had a lot of, great downloading time. Well, the last 8 miles, I was like, why didn't I bring any water? So I literally had nothing.
You did that without checkpoints? You just
with
wandered
nothing, bro. I just walked.
Jesus.
Just walked. I'm crazy like that. So, and I paid the price for. I woke up in the middle of the night. I know all you guys work out, that hamstring that hits you while you're sleeping.
Oh,
But Adam, I want to ask you a question though, because we've been talking weight loss and people are like, I want to lose weight, but in reality, they want to be jacked, or they want to be lean, or they want to get fit. Adam, in your journeys of you losing weight and your journeys as an entrepreneur and building resilience, Can you find a time when you went into the gym and sat down with a trainer and said, you know what, I need to lose some weight, when in reality you were actually really wanting to be more physically or maybe more fit? Have there been times in your life, Adam, where you might have used wrong terminology within this journey of weight loss or athletics to achieve a goal? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's just like people are like, oh, I want to build a multi-million-dollar business. Yeah. Well, people also want to look like Jon, right? Yeah. But that's a freaking commitment. That is, I've got my meals right. I've got my hydration right. It's just like building a business. Are you doing everything every day consistently over time to have what you want? You have
non-negotiables, baby. It's
the non-negotiables. So getting in shape is not an epiphany. Getting jacked like Jon is not easy. And so starting a business isn't easy. So you have to know, where do I want to go? What's it going to take to get there? And what is the cost? And not talking about money, but time and commitment. But yes, there's times when I've been working so much, gained that, belly fat, whatever. But everyone wants to be jacked. I just don't have the time to be jacked like Jon is. So I'm building a business, but I'm in good shape,
Well, let me add to that real quick. Different points when, I'm doing different stuff with my businesses and I realize, oh my God, I've got a really, really tough couple of weeks coming up. And I know that my normal training time may get inhibited from what's going on. I'll basically get up earlier and I'll create that time and I'll train before the day starts. That way, that's how I deal with the non-negotiable, because I like to train at 11, but in many cases, 11 o'clock gets swallowed by a meeting or something that went too long. Well, if I put that thing at 5 a.m. before anybody needs me, I'm always going to get my training in. And the diet it never changes. It doesn't matter how busy I am. I'll make sure that I get that in, because I can't be me physically or mentally or emotionally without it. So, but in terms of that non-negotiable, you just got to find the time. And sometimes getting up way before you need to get something in is what it takes.
Yeah. I want to say I find myself switching workout times as well, just depending on my day and what's going on. So it sucks sometimes, but it has to get done. I'm sure Keith has to do that sometimes too.
Absolutely. So we've been talking with Adam House here at on our House of Rick segment here. We drop it typically we do them on Tuesdays at 8:30 Eastern time. Adam joins the show and we talk about a brick of the week. And today's topic, we're talking about resilience. And I want to wrap the bow up on the conversation of resilience before Adam leaves the show here today. Adam, spending time in the gym, spending time building business. Let's end our conversation around resilience with a key driver for our audience. Would you welcome somebody to say, hey, walk towards the fire, find a way to fail so you can learn how to build that resilience so that the next time you face a difficult challenge, it's easier for you? What would be some advice we could offer somebody around, embracing resilience, this whole idea of walking towards the fire, the David Goggins idea of just go, 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 go. Let's wrap this topic up, Adam, on resilience today.
Well, what Jon talked about earlier as well is in his health tip, right, is getting a good night's sleep. So how you start the night before, it's just like planning on Sunday. How you go to bed is how you're going to wake up. And it's not a one-step activity. So really, we need to ask the questions of the audience is, what small promises can you make today? Something you can commit for a week, then commit for 2 weeks, commit for 3 weeks. What are some small things that you can do every day that are non-negotiables? The second is, how are you going to view it when you do fail? How are you going to respond to that? Is it a growth opportunity? Is your mindset in the right place to be able to turn that obstacle into a stepping stone? And the third is something I always talk about, is faith and fear coexist, right? Unbelief is not a choice. Believing in unbelief is still a belief. And so you have the choice every day. Am I going to have faith? Am I going to have fear? How am I going to respond? So the really questions they need to ask themselves, which is, what do I want to achieve and what's the cost? Every gain, there has to be a cost of something else. It could be your health. It could be your family. Those are the things you have to look at. And are you up for the challenge? Which season in life am I in? And can I do it?
Fantastic.
I like that about unbelief. You're still a believer, even if you unbelieve. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, me too. And faith and fear coexist. What are you going to choose today? Ask yourself that question as you start your day. 9 o'clock Eastern time, mornings in the lab. See Marty Fit, Jon Andersen, Keith Bilous, and our guest, Adam House from House of Bricks. Adam, great segment again today, brother. Tell Nation how they can find you, where they can get a hold of you, and what they can get out of the House of Bricks community, one of the fastest growing communities for entrepreneurs on the internet. Why does an entrepreneur want to come knock on your door, and what can they get from Adam House at House of Bricks? Adam?
Yeah, we're streaming on LinkedIn. Obviously, you can message me on LinkedIn. You can go to houseofbricks.io. And what you're going to get from the House of Bricks community is high-performing people or people that want to be high performers. We have a give-first mentality. There's no profile envy, so I don't care if you were the CEO or you have 7 exits or you have a job at a gas station. You want to get better in life. Surround yourself with the power of community. We have mentors that will teach you. We have peers that will climb the mountain with you. We have people for you to mentor. And the most important person in that relationship capital flywheel is you. You will become a better person by joining the House of Bricks.
Yes, and you know what? I want to give Michael Hawkins the last word on this, because Adam, you talked about it a couple minutes ago. Michael says, make time even if you have to steal time. So as you sit down on your Sunday, as Adam does, and he plans this week.
What up, Mike?
He's like, oh, I got to go steal that time over there because I need to make it for myself. So great. That's a great observation, Michael, and dropping that in the feed here for us. Adam, I love having your company, man. Every single week, Tuesdays, you join us. Today, it's Thursday. Have a great day today, pal. What's going on with you today?
Leading our community, right? Beautiful. I've got a big community trying to change businesses and change lives, and also lead myself, right? That's the best form of leadership, is self-leadership. So I hit the gym, I hit the cold pool, and I hung out with the 3 coolest guys on earth. This is my favorite show.
That's it. Well, listen to this. That's Adam walking out of the gym, walking out of the lab. Marty's favorite sound effect on the board. Adam, have a great day, pal.
Man, I don't know if that's as bad as your basketball commentary, and thank God the show's over. We don't have to talk about it. So
I was gonna say, dude, we got to get Adam a better sound effect than that. For the love of Christ, Jesus Christ, it needs to sound like Bigfoot. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Give him some oomph. He needs some oomph.
Do we want to give Adam this sound effect today?
That's the woman goat. That's the castrated goat. Give him a goat.
Tina, good job.
It sounds like
Adam knows I love him.
That sounds like Keith's dorm room in college. There's a goat in there.
Adam knows we tease with love. That's how we do it here in the lab. I love it, man.
It's like, officer, I was just helping the goat over the fence. I promise.
Wow.
We promise you guys, we're going to get into a basketball segment with Adam House. It's clear us to talk basketball.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If I got one more minute.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who Derek Andersen is, but he played for the Miami Heat, won an NBA championship. He grew up homeless. One of the most incredible stories. He joined our community call on Monday, but everyone should go check this guy out. He's retired now, but works in mental health in the NBA. But if you think
that's the guy who played on the Magic. He played on the Magic too.
Miami Heat. He retired in Charlotte, and I think the Knicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, awesome guy. So if you think you have tough circumstances, you want to. I actually did a podcast with him. It's on YouTube. Guy overcame everything and probably one of the greatest human beings alive. So I appreciate your time, guys. Come up with a new sound effect, or this will be my last episode next week.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree, brother. Shit, they did that. They did that dumb shit to me for a while. I had to put my foot down too.
Don't say they, because I didn't do that to you. That was all Keith. That's the master.
Our friend Adam House joining us here in the morning. Go check him out on House of Bricks on LinkedIn. Go check out the YouTube channel. Adam sitting down with Derek Andersen. And Adam, we'll see you next week, brother. Good to have you here, pal.
Hey, thanks everybody. See you next week.
All right, there goes Adam, listening to him walk out of the gym here this morning. The greatest sound effect ever invented here on Mornings in the Lab. And it's this point where we got a new segment coming up here where I get to get out of here. Yeah, the host is leaving the show. And we're going to put the cameras on these two bunyaks. Yes, I use the word bunyaks. You guys know what a bunyak is?
Never heard that in my life.
Yeah, I brother, listen, I'm his age and I haven't heard of it either. So I'm dying to know what the hell this is.
That's some Canadian word.
That's a good old Canadian, Ukrainian word. You know, the bunyaks, the good diet. It's bunyak with love. But anyway, so listen, we're going to get out. I'm going to get out of here for 12 minutes. We're going to come back at the 15-minute mark of the hour, boys. We're going to wrap up the discussion around weight loss. But between now and then, let's get into the gym. And why don't you guys have a conversation around upper body? I think we're going chest. Hey, Marty. Hey, John. Is that where we're going today?
Chet, if that's where it's supposed to go, babe, I'll take it where it needs to go.
I think we're going to get into a conversation around chest today. It is going to be a upper body workout conversation with John and Marty in the gym, and I'll be back in a couple of moments. Boys, let's rock and roll. You guys are up.
Well, I would come out of the gate talking about chest training, basically kind of helping people understand, and this is something I'm big on, is that you can get chest training and other exercises. So yes, you want to train your chest, but you're going to get chest training in, say, dips. You're going to get chest training in some sort of an overhead press. So I think what you got to realize is that, you know, just looking at the chest and trying to isolate the chest should be a very, very small piece of the equation, because the chest is going to take a lot of work elsewhere if you're in a complete program.
Yeah, and I feel like most chest movements, maybe with the exception of like a chest fly maybe, but I mean, even on a chest fly, they're going to be compound movements.
Yeah.
So you are going to get, you know, like we always talk about, getting the best bang for your buck in the gym.
Yep.
When you do chest movements. And I feel like chest and shoulders as well, but chest is one of those muscles where it's like you could change your whole look with with building your chest. You know, you put on a fitted button up shirt for a meeting or work, or a polo shirt, and you've been working on your chest, you're going to look completely different. So
yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Yep.
100%. Another thing that I'm a big connoisseur, a lot of times people will say, you ever hear people say this, they have a hard time getting their chest sore. They have a hard time, you know, making their chest respond the way they want to. So you got to remember, there's so many ways to skin a cat. That's the saying, by the way, Marty.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people who has a hard time feeling like you're really getting a good pump or getting sore with your chest, don't be afraid to do some basically body weight failure exercises at the end of your training. Like, I'm a big one on having people do, say, you know, some sort of a chest press and then hitting the floor and doing push-ups to failure. That right there is going to be a very different look for the muscle. And when it comes down to it, if you're one of these people having a hard time getting the muscle to respond, you got to be coming from lots of different angles, and it's got to be pretty outside the box. If you're one of these guys that's doing International Chest Day on Monday, 5 sets of 5, and you're not getting the results, no goddamn wonder why, because you're doing the same dumb shit week after week at the same time. Your body knows what's coming. You know, talk about that, Marty.
Yeah.
If you don't switch it up, how do you expect that muscle to actually adapt and grow?
Yeah. So you got to realize that you got to challenge the muscle if you want the muscle to grow, right? You got to put the muscle under some stress. So John, I'm sure you run into this with dudes just like, yeah, man, on Mondays, all I do is bench. That's it. They're just bench.
It's International Chest Day. It's 5 sets of 5. It's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous, man. So, you gotta challenge your muscle, whether that's progressive overload, whether that's hitting new movements, you know, maybe switching from flat bench to incline bench. You know, there's all types of things you could do, but you gotta put some work in and challenge the muscle. And then another thing I wanted to hit on too, John, was with the ladies. A lot of ladies are scared to work chest, right? They think, sorry, ladies, love y'all. They think they're going to lift some 10-pound dumbbells and then just walk out like Johnny Bravo. Listen, ladies, it doesn't work like that. It's not going to happen. So you can work chest, and there's benefits for women to working chest, right? And I want to point out, you know, you get a lot of people get like the armpit fat right here. That's going to be great working chest for that. It's going to help, you know, get rid of that. Of course, nutrition is key, but, you know, chest is going to play a big factor in that. Anything you want to add on that, John?
Well, you know, I love the idea that that people are saying it's not just chest. Oh, I don't want to do my arms get too big too fast. My legs, come on. No, it's not working. It doesn't work that way. So what I'm getting at, kind of springing off what you're saying, is that, yes, we're talking about chest, but realistically, if you have chest as one part of a complete program, you're actually going to get better results for your chest anyway. When people say, oh, I just want big arms and chest, and that's all that they focus on, the body is going to evolve better as a whole. The body doesn't want to be in balance, and I'll explain why. Back in the day, if you go back far enough in time, Marty, you and I were getting up and we were going out trying to kill something to feed our, our tribe, so to speak, or whoever, our community, right? Well, if the body's imbalanced, guess what? We're walking along and we're looking for a zebra. We see a saber-toothed tiger. We start take off running. That tiger's going to look for the one of us that's imbalanced because we're the easiest kill. So the body doesn't want to be unbalanced. So if you want a bigger chest and bigger arms, you're going to get them faster by training your whole body, because the body will fight you if you're trying to create an imbalance.
No, I love that. That's good. And they're highlighting some comments. Lauren said, since incorporating chest into my workouts, it's without a doubt changed the shape of my shoulders.
Yes.
And chest is necessary for those beautiful, strong pipes on women. Yeah. So when you work chest, you're definitely working your shoulders too, and you're working your triceps as well. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize, if you hit a chest workout and you putting a lot of reps in, them triceps are going to start burning, right? Yep. You're gonna feel that. So just know that you're like Jon said, you're not just isolating chest, you're working other muscles as well. And then Adam says, that's something that surprised me. I use an app for home gym, and I'm thinking by the 4th week, these exercises are always different. Yep.
Another thing we want to touch on too is, we hear it all the time. Like, I have a hard time bench pressing because it hurts my shoulders. Well, if that's the case, it's because you're doing it wrong. So I'm going to give you a quick kind of tutorial on how to make sure that you can do a bench press with a bar and it's not going to bang up your shoulders. If they're already banged up, it'll help reverse this. But if they're not banged up, this will keep you from getting the banged up shoulders. So when people bench press, they put their elbows out wide like this. That is not a good position for the shoulder. So what you want to do is you want to basically, at the top, you want to basically bring your elbows into your sides and keep your elbows tucked to your sides. So don't think first movement of bringing the bar down. Think first movement of bringing your elbows tighter, then coming down, which is going to change the path of that movement, which will protect your shoulders.
And the same for push-ups and dips as well.
Yes.
I see people do it on push-ups, and it's like, yo, you gotta stop. You're gonna get an injury. And then after your chest workout, do some shoulder stretches, some shoulder mobility, because you're gonna get tight. If you're working, efficient workouts weekly on chest day, those shoulders and that chest are going to get tight. So you don't want to have any injuries, and then you got to sit out and can't work out at all.
And that's a great one, brother. And you mentioned it earlier in your fit tip. People that if you're worried about getting tight, here's a simple way to do it, but it's got to be a non-negotiable, meaning when you finish working a muscle, doesn't matter what it is, it's hot, it's fatigued, it will stretch really, really efficiently. So if you get done training your chest, spend 3 to 5 minutes stretching your chest out. It'll stretch very easily. It actually, a lot of times stretching is painful for people. It's a much easier stretch when the muscle's already warm and fatigued. And that 2 to 5 minutes at the tail of every workout will keep you from getting an overall tightness to your body, which we know for many people is a huge problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem. I've seen all types of stuff. And then, and if, let's say you do get hurt, right? Once you recover and you come back, don't go back to lifting 225. Don't go back to trying to lift 315. It's important that you ease your way back into it, right? Because once you hurt that muscle, it's a high chance that you can hurt it again by doing the same ish that you were doing before. So ease your way back in, be careful, and do those stretches. And Brian Bansfield says here, what I noticed with lots of chest machines in the gym, they don't stay in that range of power like you can with free weights. How do you feel about that, Jon?
Well, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, you're always going to be better off to use a free weight, because what that'll do is it'll give you the ability to move within the pathway that works for your mechanics. See, like this, you and I is a perfect example. Because we're built differently, you just the length of, say, our femurs or the different humerus, all these different bones that have different lengths is going to give us slightly different mechanics. Yep. And a free weight will let us find the proper pathway for our own individual mechanics as to our machine is going to put everyone in the same pathway. Good for some, terrible for others.
Yeah.
Hey, we're talking in the gym with C. Marty Fit, Jon Andersen, and I just jumped in here for a quick comment on stretching. We're wrapping up the segment here. Marty.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to say, when you're doing free weights, just make sure your form is right, because the same injuries we just mentioned with the shoulder and the elbow, if you're doing a chest press, you can get messed up on the free weights as well. So,
yeah.
And the last thing we want to add is, here's the thing. You're going to make the most progress when you show up on a regular basis.
It's actually as simple as that.
Simple.
It's actually quite simple. But John, Marty, I got a question for you. So I'm going to play a little role here with the trainee from my two trainers. Let's give something to our audience. You talked about stretching. You danced around a little bit. How important is stretching before your chest workout? John, give our audience one thing. Marty, give our audience one thing. Johnny.
Well, I think stretching before, don't think of stretching like stretching to get like loose. Think of stretching as more, and before the workout is more of a workout. Does the muscle have the range of motion it needs to not get hurt? But when you're done, you're trying to open up that range of motion. So it's two different, you got to look at their two different deals or two different philosophies of stretching based upon before or after the workout. Got it.
And Marty, what do you have a favorite stretch you do before a chest exercise that you can offer to Business Athlete Nation today?
Before chest, I always get a couple warm-up sets in. I do like a couple warm-up sets with the bar, a couple warm-up sets with 135, and then I use like they have like the poles in the gym. Put my arm there this way to stretch my chest this way, put my arm up top to stretch more of my shoulder. I always do that every chest and shoulder day. So I actually get the warm-up sets in first, and then I actually go isolate the chest and shoulder and stretch like that. And that gets me going right there.
And what he's doing with those warm-up sets is he's verifying the muscle has the range of motion it needs for the exercise without some sort of a kink or something that he's got to get rid of before he puts it under load.
Yeah. Marty, did you say you look for the poles in the gym?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Oh, I love it. Dude, he makes videos about people that use the poles. He's gonna wreck his hustle if he's hanging on those things.
Yeah. You're not gonna catch me doing that. Yo, people are waiting to catch me slipping. So I'm very careful about what I say and what I do. All right, people are waiting to catch me. But
brother, here's the thing. What they're gonna figure out real quick is when you don't miss, they can watch as long as they want, but you're going to get your shit done, man. And I'm the same way. I've been doing my thing for 30 years. You can watch me all you want, but my shit's going down every day.
I love Hawkins with the long pause because, Michael, you know exactly what we're coming from. Michael, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that. Hey, we wrapped up our segment here in the gym with John and Marty. It's a segment we're going to drop every single day, and clearly you guys are loving it because you guys are bringing the questions. Get used to it. 9 o'clock Eastern time. We've got a new segment in the gym with these two guys. These guys will teach you everything that they know, combined 1,000 years of experience and probably thousands, if not millions of pounds of weight lifted and millions of pounds of weight lost with their clients. Jon Andersen, C. Marty Fit, the In the Gym segment here, mornings in the lab. Johnny, you go take a break. I'm going to do Creator Spotlight with Marty and Flinner, and then we're going to come back and wrap up the discussion on weight loss and wrap the show up. How does that sound?
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to do this here. I'm going to take Johnny off. We're going to put Flinner up on stage. Hey, Flinner, we're hitting the marks today.
I know. This is what is going on.
This show is going fast today. We're rocking and rolling. So, hey, listen. So this time in the show, we get to go, which is our Creator Spotlight, where we like to shine and excite and celebrate folks on the LinkedIn platform. And today, Christina, you said, hey, I got somebody for us from Brooklyn, New York, the outlier coach. He's helping founders build conviction in what's next. He's a 3-time venture-backed startup founder, acquired by Facebook. He's the author, Marty, best-selling author. He's the author of He's the author of The Path to Pivot and Weirdly Brilliant. ADHD, former NCAA gymnast. This person today, mornings in the lab, the Creator Spotlight, we are going to shine the light on. Jimmy, you ready to rock and roll? Marty, ready to drum roll, please? Is Jason Shen. The Outlier Coach, helping founders build conviction in what's next. 3 times venture-backed startup founder, acquired by Facebook. Like I said, is the author of The Path to Pivot, weirdly brilliant ADHD former gymnast. And we are celebrating Jason today because he's an example of how someone can act as a model of possibility for their audience. He helps outliers, and he is an outlier. Christina Flynn, why did we want to nominate Jason Shen today for our celebration of Creator Spotlight?
Well, it's just what you said, right? I think LinkedIn has this opportunity for folks that have great experience and they've been through it themselves, so they can help others like them. And I think that Jason is a great example of that model of possibility. He himself is an outlier. He's incredibly accomplished. He's a startup founder, acquisition by Facebook, NCAA gymnast, like talk about a business athlete.
Yeah.
And he has managed the challenges that come with neurodiverse realities, quite frankly, of startup founders, and figuring out his own way of presenting his uniqueness and building success around him. So I know that folks that struggle with the neurodiversity, the ADHD, the ASD, whatever it is, and want to build a business, are outliers, don't necessarily feel like they belong in other spaces. Jason does a really great job in showing you what he's done himself to overcome some of those challenges. And I think his content's money. It's really, really good stuff.
His content is money. So Jason Shen, you can find him on LinkedIn. Christina, I like how he's embraced the word outliers. We don't hear that word very often. And he's owning that word. And, those that know what that word is, embrace it. And all of a sudden, and Christina, we always talk about intentional language. When you see that word outlier, and if you identify with it, you're like, oh, hey, that guy's like me. Like, you want to build a tribe. Exactly, right, Tina? Selective language welcomes people in. So Jason, congratulations, man. Congratulations on all the success that you've had. Congratulations on your gymnastics career. Congratulations on your exits. I've looked through your content here. Great success, pal. I applaud you. We welcome you here for our Creator Spotlight. Come join us sometime so you yourself can nominate the next Creator Spotlight for Mornings in the Lab. All right. I like doing that. That's a fun part of our show. Christina, we're going to keep you up to wrap the show up here today. What a good show we've had here today. Mornings in the Lab here. Great conversation. We started the show off with the Shannon Sharp conversation and all that drama. We got into John Bon Jovi saving some lives on bridges. We talked
That's a little cool, bit. Man. That's cool.
That is very cool. Yeah, we talked weight loss. We talked about, I don't know, Nation, if you guys actually really want to lose weight or if you really want to get some six-pack and abs and you really want to be lean. We're going to kind of wrap that conversation in a couple minutes. And then we had Adam join us with resilience. And then we celebrated Jason. And we're going to back to wrap this conversation on weight loss. Christina, when you heard us talking about weight loss, and I'm going to ask you, as a female, you hear us talking about weight loss and it's, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Have you heard enough from John and Marty where when you sit with your friends and your girlfriends and just folks in your in your circle, where you have the confidence to maybe rechange that line of thinking where actually they don't want to lose weight, Christina?
I think so. And I mean, my experience with weight has been a challenging one. I grew up with very difficult times around it. I had eating disorders, and it was always very much present in my world, being told by aunts, you've got this flat stomach when I'm like 10 years old, being focused on like, what do I look like? Having all the women around me say I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat all the time. And I think that's a reality for a lot of women, quite frankly. We're seeing a shift. And as a 40-year-old woman now, it keeps coming up in my mind, Keith. You said the other day, someone was like, what's your goal with fitness? And you were like, longevity. And I think as we get older, I don't weigh myself. I haven't weighed myself in a long time because I know the number on the scale doesn't represent what I want. I want to feel strong. I want to feel fit. And I also know that number is going to fuck with my head. So why am I going to put it in there to make some ambiguous statement in my head of all the things that I'm doing wrong? Ignore it. I don't pay attention to it. That's where I come from. For me, I think John and Marty gave us a lot of things to talk about. For me as a woman, talking to my friends, like, the trends are changing. It's coming, but now I'm armed with a couple more things to be able to have that conversation.
Well, and longevity has to do with giving your body the functional tissue it needs to live a happy, long life, which is building muscle. And we all know that excess body fat wreaks havoc on our health. So longevity is point blank not losing weight. Longevity is feed the metabolism to help the body build a little bit of muscle and get rid of the excess body fats. And it's a very sustainable process.
Marty.
And to move optimally and function, right? You know, you don't want to get to a certain age where you're struggling to get in the car, get out of the car, sit down on the toilet, sit down in your work chair, right? You don't want those issues. You don't want to walk around with knee pain and back pain. So I guess function, moving optimally, and injury prevention are keys for that as well.
You know, I got to share this, but I don't know how I didn't share this up to this point, but this really, really helps people understand. Right now, we're dealing with this massive amount of old people who are weaker than ever before. Can't go up steps. Can't get up and down off the toilet worth a damn. And it's because that generation of people was exposed. That's the first version of the yo-yoers. They gained weight and lost weight so many times. Well, every time you gain, right, then you lose with the starvation type diet, the calorie deficit, which is what they all did. You're losing muscle, but you're not gaining the muscle back when you regain the weight. So every time they yo-yoed, they were ratcheting their muscle mass down, and now they're old and they're weak.
And I want to add one thing too of that group of people you just mentioned. And anybody watching, we're not doing this to pick on people. You know, we're just shedding light on some issues. That group that Johnny just pointed out, they're getting younger. You know, they're getting closer and closer to me and Christina's age. You know, I see people with, young kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're struggling. They're struggling. You know, so it's real. You know, and I know we poke fun at it sometimes, but it's real. Like we really want to help people.
And brother, I love what you said, because this is not to pick on someone who's just trying to lose weight. They just don't know the difference. If people understood what we're talking about, like, wait a minute, I guess that's not the choice I want. I guess I want what's over here. They just have never been, it's never been put in front of most people in a way that they understand the difference between losing weight and losing fat.
Yep.
And that's what it is. It's like when you know better, you do better. These are the opportunities. Now you know better. We can all do better together.
Exactly.
I think what I struggle with, and I know we're going to wrap the show up here, and this is probably a topic for another show, but what I struggle with, team, is how accepting. Oh man. So we look at humans that are carrying excess body fat, and we accept it. Like, oh yeah, but they're healthy. No, but are they? And yet I want to live life of longevity, but we know longevity is lived with less body fat in our body, less visceral fat in our body. Yet society has accepting folks that carry excess body fat, because we say to that person, well, yeah, but they're healthy and they're going to live a long life. And I got to be honest, I really struggle with that, because I know, and we know, and science has told us, when you don't carry excess body fat, you live longer. But yet, it's such a balancing act. You know what I'm saying? I see Johnny, you're nodding, you're leaning in a little bit, and Tina, and because it's just these competing headlines, right? It's competing headlines.
This whole idea that it's accepted.
Yes,
and this is not just around body fat.
No,
our general public, somehow the world has made a whole bunch of really unhealthy shit very acceptable and very normal. Yeah. And I just made a video, well, man. If normal is being right, I am so happy to be wrong.
Yeah. Well said. Marty,
we also have to, sorry, I just want to pipe in too.
Yeah.
We also have to realize there's a complexity to that conversation that we don't even have time to talk about in today. The folks that are more likely to carry that body fat around them are typically marginalized people that don't have access to safe and healthy food sources. They are being told or sold, and we've all been told and sold a number of different lies. Yep. So when we think about that, I never want to, put anyone in a position of like not realizing that reality that society has also put us in. It doesn't give excuses, but we have to understand that there are economics behind all this,
Yes.
and a big societal structure that puts people in that position as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Johnny?
Yeah, food has become, especially in America, food has become a business. These companies don't give a shit about our health. They care about taking what's in our pockets, which is the money.
Yes. That's why if
Yeah,
anything, go Marty, go ahead.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off Christina, that's, I talk about that a lot on my podcast, and we have to be specific on who's marginalized, because in this victim culture, not everybody wants to be marginalized. They want to be part of that group. And it's like, no, you're not part of that group. You're not part of that. So
you are. The stats are pretty clear. if you're living in this bougie lifestyle and you're surrounded by healthy food and you have resources, that doesn't work.
Exactly. So we got it. And I mean, I'd be happy to dive into that because I do a lot of research and talk about it a lot. But and then back to what Johnny was saying, like the food companies, and we're programmed to eat the trash, and we're not even educated on what's healthy and what's not. So it's a lot. I'm not going to get into it today, but maybe we need to talk about it, Keith.
Great conversation,
Chief.
team. Great conversation, team. If there's anything that I learned, and I know that when I started the show and started with Nicole and then invited the other OG here, Marty, with me, our ambition here, Nation, is just to help you guys get going, help you get out of bed, help you remove obstacles, give you things to think about. We don't have all the answers, but we can give you things to think about to help you get there. And you know what? We just want to see you get going. No judgment. We've all had our challenges, man. We've all had our challenges. I've been Husky Keith on my way to Handsome Chief, right? So we've had our challenges, and it's just in every single day. It's all the way about habit stacking on the way. But what a great show, guys. Marty, great show, man. Thank you today. Christina, great show today. Johnny, great show today. And Business Athlete Nation, thanks for tuning in. Lauren, Jay Simmons, Dan, Adam, who else we have? Real Deal Prime, Laic Wolf, Cam jumped in today as well. That's a funny comment, Cam. Maybe he can, to Adam, maybe he can write it on a piece of paper and hold it up when Adam's audio wasn't working. So Cam was coming in with the comments, which is pretty fun. And Michael Hawkins, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining us on the show. And Marty, I'm glad to see you and hear you sounding better today, brother.
It was a struggle, man. It was a struggle. The last 2 days were rough for me. So I'm glad to be back. Yeah,
I was on Marty's show last night on one of the greatest podcasts on YouTube in the evenings, the See Marty Fit podcast, and he was grinding it out last night on the show. There's a good job.
It's tough, man. I was struggling. Y'all couldn't tell, but I was struggling. But
you did awesome. You showed up, Johnny. What do you got going on today, brother? Before we say goodbye.
Oh man, I got a killer workout I'm looking forward to. I'm actually going to be supersetting my arm training with some lunges, which is going to be a doozy. Yes, I like that. But more importantly, Terry is coming home. Yes. So my life is going to get a little more streamlined.
You can use the stove again.
That's it.
What's that?
You can use the stove again.
I thought she said soap.
That's what I thought too.
I'm gonna use the soap whether she's here or not. That's non-negotiable.
And Marty, Johnny's got some hit training for today before Terry comes home as well. So Johnny's gonna unload the clip, and if that's what's gonna happen there today. Marty, what do you got going on today, brother? I got a back workout today. What do you got, pal?
I got shoulders today, man. Shoulders. Man.
Nice and done. Team, great show. I appreciate you, John. I appreciate you, Christina. And I appreciate you, Christopher Martin, See Marty Fit Nation. I appreciate you guys as well. We got Mario Hernandez joining us. Noble. Tomorrow we're going to talk social entrepreneurship. I was trying to find the word. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Mornings in the lab.